This is Chris Potatoes. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Potatoes, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my AEW Dynamite June 14th, 2023 reviews. So here we go, discussing about tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. Now we kick off the show with the first match of the night. It was the AEW World Heavyweight Champion MJF versus Adam Cole, 1-on-1 for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. So yeah, we get to the match, and this match, it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth and everything. You know, MJF taunting a lot in the beginning of this match. At one point, he actually gets in the crowd, and he sees this guy wearing glasses or whatever. He just trying to knock the glasses off the guy's head and stuff. So yeah, that was pretty funny. MJF being a heel right there. MJF was going after Adam Cole's arm a lot of times in this match, like flipping him and everything. So he was going after his arm a lot in this match. There was some cool spots in this match, like we see MJF actually hit the Tombstone Power Driver on Adam Cole on the ring apron, which was pretty cool and everything. At one point, there's been a few times that Adam Cole almost won this match, and same for MJF. Like we seen MJF hit the Heat Seeker onto Adam Cole after he kicked him in the face, and then he pins him 1, 2. Adam Cole barely kicking out at 2. So yeah, that happened. So Adam Cole was still fighting back in this match. And then at one point we see MJF having enough of Adam Cole. He takes him outside the ring, lays him onto that table where they got the pretty much the mics and stuff at. And MJF climbs up the top turnbuckle and jumps off with a big elbow drop on Adam Cole through the table, laying him out. MJF gets back into the ring, referee starts counting, and Adam Cole barely getting back in the ring by the count of 9. So yeah, he got back in the ring by the count of 9, almost got counted out. Adam Cole's fighting back a lot of times in this match. At one point, we see him hit that straight jacket German suplex onto him on the ring apron. But yeah, and then at one point we see Adam Cole, MJF going at it with the referee and stuff at one point, and Adam Cole rolls him up for the pin, and the referee counts 1, 2, MJF kicking out at 2, but Adam Cole got pushed into the referee, knocking the referee down. So yeah, the referee was knocked out for this match, and then MJF starts taking advantage of this match. He gets outside the ring. He grabs the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. He sees Adam Cole getting back up, but then he sees the referee kind of getting back up, so he passes the world title to Adam Cole, and MJF falls down. The referee is getting back up, but then he collapses right back down. Adam Cole notices what happened. MJF is looking at the referee like, hurry the hell up. And then Adam Cole hits MJF upside the head with the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, and then Adam Cole hits the boom onto him. He pins him. Referee's kind of getting back up slowly. He counts the pin 1, 2. MJF barely kicking out at 2. MJF kept on fighting back in this match, and then at the ending of this match, we see Adam Cole picking up MJF. MJF grabs onto the referee and he throws his leg back, hitting a low blow onto Adam Cole. Adam Cole collapses on the mat. The referee is checking on him. MJF grabs the diamond ring, puts it on his finger, and then he's about to hit him upside the head with it, but then the referee stops him by grabbing MJF's hand, and he's trying to take off the diamond ring off of his hand, and then that's when Adam Cole hits a super kick onto MJF, and then he climbs up the second turnbuckle and jumps off, hitting the Panama Sunrise onto MJF. He hits the boom onto him. He goes for the pin. 1, 2, the bell rings. Yep, the bell ring at the count of 2, and everybody's wondering, like, what the hell's happened right there, And come to find out, the 30-minute time limit has expired. So, yeah, it expired as soon as Adam Cole was about to win the match. But, yep, that's what happened there. And then after the match ended, Adam Cole gets out of the ring. He grabs a mic, and he tells MJF 5 more minutes. MJF looks at him. He got the World Heavyweight Championship in his hands, and he decides to get out the ring and start walking up the ramp, so he's not going to do it. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good match. I really like it. 4.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. Very great start to AEW Dynamite right there. Great match to kick off the show right there. MJF retains the AEW World Heavyweight Championship by the time limit expiring. But yeah, 4.5 stars, and that's why I'll give the match. Really great match. They got a lot of stuff on Dynamite tonight. Sammy Guevara will be returning as well. Last time we seen him was at Double or Nothing, so yeah, he'll be returning tonight on Dynamite. Knowing that they got 8-man tag team match later on tonight and all that stuff. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on AEW Dynamite, we get to the next segment of the night where we see Renee Paquette in the middle of the ring, and she introduces Sammy Guevara. So yeah, Sammy Guevara makes his return back on tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite. Last time we seen him was at Double or Nothing. So yeah, it's been a few weeks since we've seen Sammy Guevara. So yeah, he comes out, and Renee Paquette congratulates him on his and Ty Mello's pregnancy and all that stuff. And, that she asked, where he's been at and what he's been thinking about or whatever since Double or Nothing. And Sammy Guevara said these last few weeks has been pretty great after announcing the pregnancy of his baby girl and all that. And he tells the fans, it's going to be a girl. So, yeah, that's what Sammy Guevara said. And he's had his highs and all that stuff since the pregnancy. And he said he wished that he would have won the AEW World Heavyweight Championship, but he says the chase is not over yet because he's going to eventually win the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. That's what Sammy Guevara said. But then all of a sudden he gets interrupted by Darby Allin. Darby Allin comes out there, and him and Sammy Guevara has some exchange of words and all that stuff, talking about the World Heavyweight Championship and all that stuff. And Darby Allin actually points at the fact that Sammy Guevara can do great all by himself if he wasn't in a group and all that. And he says that, that him and Sting are great friends, and they ain't no Sting Appreciation Society, but, Guevara has to be in the Jericho Appreciation Society. And all of a sudden, Chris Jericho comes out with a baseball bat. And, he pretty much gets in Darby Allin's face, and he says, how about you just stay out of this and all that. And then he starts talking to Sammy Guevara about, why didn't Sammy Guevara try to call him or whatever in the past few weeks. And he could have made sure that Sammy Guevara could have been the new AEW World Heavyweight Champion. And then Sammy Guevara looks at him, he goes well, why haven't you called me? Because I could have helped you win your match against Adam Cole. At Double or Nothing. And they both start arguing and all that stuff, and Jericho was like, well, I think you failed to forget that you just got a little sniff at the main event scene, and you need to know your spot. Who's the higher up in the Jericho Appreciation Society and all that stuff. So yeah, that's what Chris Jericho was saying, and him and Sammy Guevara started getting face to face and all that stuff. And Jericho was like, well, how about this? So you know where your spot is at. How about, me and you team up as the Les Sex Gods and have a tag team match next week on Dynamite. And then Darby Allin jumps in the middle of it, and he says that, what, you gonna be listening to Jericho and all that stuff. And Jericho starts getting pissed off and everything about Darby Allin saying some stuff. And he goes and Jericho's like, well, how about this? How about me and Sammy just jump you 2-1 right now? Sammy looking at Jericho like, what the hell? And Darby was like, well, I'm never alone. And then all of a sudden Sting song hits. He comes out with the baseball bat, and he gets in the middle of the ring. First time ever, I think they said that Sting and Jericho's actually been in the ring, And they've never been in the ring with each other. So yeah, him and Jericho standing face to face. Jericho puts the baseball bat to Sting's throat. Sting puts his baseball bat down, and then he puts his baseball bat to Jericho's throat, and then puts Jericho away. And then all of a sudden, Jericho puts his baseball bat up to Sting again. Sting just whacks the baseball bat out of his hands, and Jericho quickly got out of the ring. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good segment though. But up next, we're going to be seeing that 8-man tag team match up next on Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a 8-man tag team match. It was Darby Allin, Sting, Keith Lee, and the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy with Dustin Rhodes at ringside versus Mogul Embassy in a 8-man tag team match, like Swerve Strickland, Brian Cage. I don't know the other two guys' name. I'll try to learn it eventually, but I just forgot what their names are. But also, I'll learn and all that stuff. And with Prince Nana. So yeah, it was an 8-man tag team match. And this match, it was a pretty good match. Like we see Brian Cage and those two guys lifting up Keith Lee at one point, like a powerbomb position, like a triple powerbomb position, with Swerve Strickland jumping off the top turnbuckle with a double foot stomp onto him with a powerbomb combo. He pins Keith Lee 1, 2, and the pin got broken up at the count of 2 and stuff. In this match, it was a pretty good match. It was going back and forth. Everybody was getting taken out, like we see we see Swerve Strickland try to run up on Keith Lee. Keith Lee picks him up and slams him down. He rolls out the ring and stuff, and then we see Darby Allin pretty much jump off with the coffin drop onto those two other guys outside the ring, taking them out as well. And then we see Sting. He's trying to hit the Scorpion Death Drop onto Brian Cage, but Brian Cage fought all that. He lifts up Sting onto his shoulders, and then that's when Orange Cassidy comes in, hitting the Orange Punch onto Brian Cage, which then Sting got off of Brian Cage's shoulders. He hits a Scorpion Death Drop onto him, and then he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, Sting, Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Keith Lee defeated the Mogul Embassy tonight in a 8-man tag team match. That's what happened. It was a pretty good 8-man tag team match. For that match, I'll give it 3 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was an okay match. So yeah, that's why I'll give that match. But then after that, we see Austin and Colton Gunn, the Guns, backstage getting interviewed by Renee Paquette, and they was talking about how they are brothers and all that stuff, and they are challenging the Hardy Boys next week on Dynamite. So yeah, that's what they're doing. But yep, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. But up next, we'll be seeing Wardlow on Dynamite up next. So yeah, see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing to happen on AEW Dynamite, now I forgot to mention one segment from earlier tonight. This happened like before the 8-man tag team match or whatever, where we see the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion Sonata actually, and he is going to be defending his IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Forbidden Door in that open challenge. So yeah, that's what he said earlier. But then we get to the next match. It was the TNT Champion Wardlow versus with Arn Anderson at ringside versus Jake Hager, 1-on-1 for the TNT Championship. And when Wardlow was making his entrance, Jake Hager attacked him and stuff. And then we get on to the match and stuff. Jake Hager was doing okay. He had the ankle locked on Wardlow at one point, and Wardlow fought out of that. And then during this match, we see Matt Menard and Angelo Parker coming down, and we see Arn Anderson getting between them, and he's pulling out the Glock and everything, and then we see Brock Anderson coming up, brawling with them two, and they all go backstage as well, Arn Anderson and all of them. And then we get back to the match, and we see Jake Hager actually slam Wardlow. He goes for the pin, but Wardlow kicking out at 1. Wardlow starts coming back at the ending of this match, tossing Hager out of the ring and throws him back into the ring. He climbs up the top turnbuckle and hits the Swanton Bomb onto him, and then he hits the Power Bomb onto Jake Hager and then pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Wardlow defeated Jake Hager, and he has retained the TNT Championship. That's what happened. It was an okay match. For that match, I'll give it 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it nothing really too special. But then after the match ended, we see Christian Cage and Luchasaurus pop up on the big screen, and at first we couldn't hear them because audio, whatever, I don't know what the hell happened. But then eventually we start hearing them now, and Christian Cage said that at Collision this Saturday, Luchasaurus accepts your challenge and he'll be facing you for the TNT Championship 1-on-1. So yeah, that'll be happening at Collision. He says, oh yeah, one more thing, and then they showed Arn Anderson busted open and stuff. So yeah, Wardlow gets mad, he starts running backstage. But yep, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff. But then after that, we see Hiroshi Tanahashi actually, and he says that he's going to be challenging MJF for the AEW World Heavyweight Championship at Forbidden Door. And then we see MJF getting checked out and stuff in the doctor's office, and then we see Renee Paquette coming up. And Renee Paquette told MJF that Tony Khan made the match official. He will be defending the AEW World Heavyweight Championship up against Hiroshi Tanahashi at Forbidden Door. And MJF actually turns that down. He says, no, I'm not going to defend my world title against somebody from an indie show from Japan or whatever. I'm not going to do that. But it's not the first time I no-showed an event that Tony Khan booked. So yeah, that's what MJF said. Pretty funny stuff though. But yep, that's what happened there. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on AEW Dynamite. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a 1-on-1 match But before we talk about that match, we got to talk about a segment backstage where we see Renee Paquette interviewing the AEW International Champion Orange Cassidy backstage, and she said like, "Oh, you haven't defended your title tonight, so and we don't know who's going to be your next few opponents. So what do you think?" And Orange Cassidy said, "Well, I know for sure that somebody's about to come up and interrupt me," and they'll say, to be for sure, it was Zack Sabre Jr. So yeah, he interrupts Orange Cassidy, and then he was challenging Orange Cassidy for the AEW International Championship, and then Daniel Garcia comes up, and Daniel Garcia says that he came close by beating Orange Cassidy for the title and all that stuff, and then he said, him and Zack Sabre Jr. starts arguing and stuff, and then Orange Cassidy was like, "How about this? Me and Sabata versus y'all two next week on Dynamite," because he was asking about Sabata. So yeah, that's what happened there. But then we get to the next match. It was the AEW Women's Champion, Toni Storm with Ruby Soho at ringside, the Outcast versus Sky Blue 1-on-1 for the AEW Women's Championship. In this match, it was an okay match. It was going back and forth and everything between these two women. At one point, we see Sky Blue actually spraying the can in Toni Storm's face and all that when the referee was distracted by Ruby Soho, and then Sky Blue hits a super kick onto Toni Storm after that, and then hits the sunset flip onto her, and she was pinning her. She could have gotten the 3 count, but obviously, like, Ruby Soho's distracting the referee, so Sky Blue gets up and super kicks her off the ring apron, and then she runs up to Toni Storm. Toni Storm throws her up in there, hanging her on the top rope and stuff, and then she hits Storm Zero onto her. She pins her 1-2, Sky Blue barely kicking out at the count of 2, and then she locks on the Texas Cloverleaf, making Sky Blue tap out. So yeah, Toni Storm defeated Sky Blue tonight, and she has retained the AEW Women's Championship. That's what happened. It was an okay match, but yep, that's what happened there. And yeah, and then after that match, Toni Storm wouldn't let go of the submission hold, and then Willow Nightingale comes running out, chasing off the Outcast and saving Sky Blue. So yeah, for that match and what happened after the match, I'll give it all 2.5 stars. That's why I'll give it. It was okay stuff, but yeah, that's what happened there. But yeah, and then after that we see Renee Paquette interviewing Jungle Boy and the FTW champion Hook backstage, and she was, and then Jungle Boy was talking about how he don't got a title around his waist, and he's actually accepting Sonata's open challenge for the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship at Forbidden Door, and he asked Hook if he could be by his side because he's his best friend and all that, and then Hook fist bumps him, and yeah, that's what's going to be happening there. But yep, that's what happened there, and up next it'll be the main event. It'll be the Blackpool Combat Club versus the Elite in a tag team match up next on Dynamite. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on AEW Dynamite, it was a main event. It was Matt and Nick Jackson, the Young Bucks, teaming up with Hangman Adam Page, the Elite, versus Jon Moxley, Wheeler Yuta, and the Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion Claudio Castagnoli, the Blackpool Combat Club, in a 6-man tag team match. And Bryan Danielson was on commentary for this match, and everybody, this match was a really good match. It was going back and forth between these two teams, everybody going at it. Obviously, we see Claudio and Jon Moxley hit the Doomsday device onto Matt Jackson, I think it was, and they pinned him, but then the pin got broken up. I think the pin got broken up at the count of 2 and everything, and then we see Moxley locking on the sleeper hold onto Matt Jackson, and he's on his knees and stuff, and he got some choking him out and everything. Adam Page was trying to come in there and break up the submission, and he got taken out, but then we see Nick Jackson jumping off the top turnbuckle with a swanton bomb onto Jon Moxley's back, breaking up the submission and everything. And then the Elite starts taking control of this match, hitting a double super kick onto Jon Moxley. And then they hit the double super kick on Claudio Castagnoli, and then the double super kick onto Wheeler Yuta, and then they tag in Hangman Adam Page, and then they hit the BT. We see Adam Page hit the powerbomb onto Wheeler Yuta, and then they flipped him onto his knees, and then the Young Bucks hit the BTE trigger the BTE onto Willa Yuta, and then we see Adam Page hit his buckshot lariat onto Willa Yuta, and he pins him for the 1, 2, 3. So yeah, the Elite defeated the Blackpool Combat Club tonight in the 6-man tag team match. That's what happened. Pretty good match. But then we talk about what happened after the match, where we see the Blackpool Combat Club attacking the Elite and stuff, and the Elite starts fighting back and everything. They start taking out the Blackpool Combat Club, and then we see Eddie Kingston come running down and stuff, and then him and Claudio gets face to face, and both of them's going at it and stuff. Willa Yuta trying to get involved, but he got hit with a back fist by Eddie Kingston, and same for Claudio, he got hit with it as well. And then Eddie and John Moxley gets face to face and stuff. They're about to go at it, but then the Young Bucks takes John Moxley down, beating him down and stuff. Eddie Kingston pulls them off because, you know, him and John Moxley's best friends or whatever. And then Moxley gets back up, starts pushing the Young Bucks, and he pushes Eddie Kingston and stuff. Both of them gets face to face and everything. And then we see Konosuke Takeshita comes running down, and he hits Eddie Kingston in the back of the head, laying him out. And then Nick Jackson was trying to get face to face with Konosuke, and he gets laid out as well. Kenny Omega comes running down, and him and Konosuke's going at it and stuff. And Kenny Omega starts taking control of it as well. He hits the V trigger onto Konosuke and stuff, and he hits the Dragon Suplex onto him, and the Young Bucks hit the super kicks onto him as well. Claudio tried to get involved, and he got hit with the super kick by Adam Page and stuff. And then the Young Bucks and Adam Page jump over the top rope, hitting crossbodies onto Moxley, Yuta, and Claudio. So yeah, they took them out. And then where it looked like, then we see the V trigger from onto Konosuke, and then from behind we see Will Ospreay coming in there, hitting a super kick onto Kenny Omega, laying him out. He picks him up, and he hits that elbow to the face, pretty much that back elbow onto him. He lifts him up, and he hits his finisher move onto him, laying him out. And then when Dynamite was about to go off the air, we see him hit one more back elbow to the back of the head onto Kenny Omega, laying him out. So yeah, that's what happened there. And Will Ospreay standing tall over Kenny Omega, and we see Bryan Danielson just clapping along on the stage. So yeah, that's what happened there. Pretty good stuff though. For the match and what happened after the match, I'll give it all 4 stars. That's why I'll give it. Either that 6-man tag team match was the match of the night, but I really liked the World Heavyweight Championship, the opening match. So yeah, that one was a really good one as well. That was probably match of the night. But yeah, for tonight's episode of AEW Dynamite, I'll give it 8.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was a pretty good show. I liked it. It was good. But yeah, that's what happened there. Subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, Word of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Dales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and both of my TikToks. I'll be down there in the description box. And yeah, I'll be doing my Friday Night SmackDown reviews this Friday night, and I'll be doing my AEW Collision reviews this Saturday. So yeah, look out for that. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.